A lot of energy over the last few years into getting off of Black women TikTok because it's extraordinarily toxic and ignorant, and it will pressure a Black woman to focus more on her external than her internal. You see a whole lot of ass, you see a whole lot of breast, you see a whole lot of wigs. It's very superficial. The music and the sounds are really vulgar. Like, it's just, it always bothered me and pissed me off. But now I really wish I could reach Black women. But anytime my videos reach Black women, it just pisses them off and they like come for me aggressively.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. We got this sister jumping on here, man, and pretty much frustrated. She's frustrated with our sister. She's frustrated pretty much with the TikTok sisters, right? And your TikTok sisters are pretty much the extension of your Shade Room sisters, right? Yeah, the sisters from the Shade Room. They're literally in the same category, right? But for TikTok, just imagine TikTok, imagine the Shade Room being ran by TikTok or whatever, right? Just imagine that. But for the most part, man, you got this sister who is just upset of the buffoonery, though. Like, man, like Oshie Jackson says, man, the dustiness, right? The weaving, the sandaling, man, it's just so much extra BS going on, man, over there on that TikTok. Now you just got to question, like, why couldn't Trump just keep that shit down, right? So for the most part, man, she also jumps into DEI and all of this extra stuff. Now, for the most part, I'm not a political type of guy. I don't care for politics. I just do not care for politics unless we're talking about something that we talked about a couple of days ago, where there was a rumor that people who pay child support, they get to claim their children, right? And of course, a lot of Black women were upset about that, and they don't want to see no Black man winning, so that's fine. But for the most part, when you're talking about something, man, that could easily change what I got going on, what you got going on, what this person got going on, if it changed something in your daily life, yeah, most definitely, I want to open up my ears to it. I want to see how it's going to affect me, right? And I'm definitely going to have an opinion about it, right? For a prime example, when you have, Biden going up here, giving Ukraine all of this money, I want my college student loans to be gone, right? Hell, you ain't even got to take away all of it, right? I don't mind paying my part because the people before me had to pay their part, right? So I do not mind paying it. I just want him to just cut it down in half, right? Please cut it down in half. Cut it down more than half. How about you do that? But at the end of the day, I don't mind paying for it. But when you're talking about something like that, I most definitely I'm gonna be very adamant about that. So like I said, when you have Biden do certain stuff, sitting over here, Biden here is giving out money to Ukraine and not even looking out for their own people. Like I said, man, you're gonna look at it a certain way, right? You're gonna look at it a certain way. So for the most part, man, she jumps into that, man. She jumps into a whole bunch, but for the most part, her main issue, and the reason she even jumps into that, is because she's showing how hypocritical a lot of your sisters are, right? She's showing how hypocritical a lot of your sisters are. So let's just go ahead and jump into this video, man, because this sister, she's spitting some facts. She's spitting some facts, man, that we've been talking about for years. She's spitting facts that pretty much proves why the red pill exists, right? So let's jump into it.
A lot of energy over the last few years into getting off of Black women TikTok because it's extraordinarily toxic and ignorant, and it will pressure a Black woman to focus more on her external than her internal. You see a whole lot of ass, you see a whole lot of breast, you see a whole lot of wigs. It's very superficial. The music and the sounds are really vulgar. Like, it's just, it always bothered me and pissed me off. But now I really wish I could reach Black women. But anytime my videos reach Black women, it just pisses them off and they like come for me aggressively. I'm not tripping. But I just saw a beautiful young Black woman saying, like, whoever voted for this is going to get it. They're going to suffer. We're not going to suffer because we didn't vote for this. And I just pray that they get everything that they wished for. I've scrolled past a couple Black women talking about the deportations. I've scrolled past a few Black women talking about reproductive rights still. And it really is just sad to me. And I think to myself, like, y'all are more upset about Donald Trump ending DEI, which privileges white women and queer men, and anybody can identify as queer. Literally anybody can identify as queer. over you, okay? But they have no issue with Sexy Red and her damn STD marketed, branded lip gloss. They have no issue with children dancing to extremely vulgar and sexually explicit music. They have no issue with the fact that there's these kids on camera, toddlers doing mukbangs with their parents who are grunting and still cannot articulate any audible words, but they're doing Taco Bell mukbangs. It doesn't make any sense. Y'all get worked up about MS-13 gang members being deported out of your country, but you're not worked up about the fact that your children's schools and classrooms are being flooded with their children, and their children are being prioritized over yours, and you don't even care or realize that your children are the least literate among all their classmates. It really is frustrating to me how lost black women are. And this is me speaking as a black woman, a black American woman who came from a black American woman, who came from a black American woman, who came from a black American woman. We here. Blackfoot Indian, let my mama tell it. I am rooted in this land, and I don't have nothing but like 7% European DNA in me. I am as full black American, foundational black American as you gonna get. And they hate to hear from me because what I am bringing is common sense, accountability, conviction.
Sis was cooking. Hey, yo, she was burning, bro. She was burning it, man. She was burning it. Now, let's go ahead and start breaking it down for the most part, right? For the most part, I'm gonna kind of go backwards here. When she talks about the children, right? When she talks about how a lot of your women jump up on here, you make your whole. It's all about priorities. That's the issue with Kamala Harris in the first place, right? So many people, you got so many women, Kamala Harris this, Kamala Harris that, and their main priority is abortion rights. The main priority is some stuff that we've been talking about for the longest. And it's like, dude, we don't need to worry about that. We got other things to worry about, like what Donald Trump is doing right now, and the fact that he is making so many changes, right? Whether you like it or not, not every law is going to benefit everybody, right? Let's just be honest here. Not every law is going to benefit everybody. Not every law is going to make everybody happy, right? But the fact that he's standing on what he is saying, the fact that he actually has the plan and saying, hey, here's how we're going to make a change, instead of what Biden was doing. Once again, how can you get upset with that? Right? How can you get upset with that? But women are so backed up on, oh, well, he had 34 felonies. Well, he's this. Well, he's that. Man, we're past that. How about we start talking about something that can actually make some changes, something that can actually help us out, right? The reason why a lot of people respect Donald Trump, right? Let's be honest here. The reason why, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but the reason people do respect Donald Trump, right, or at least respect what he does, is because he stands 10 toes down on everything that he said he's going to do. Biden makes a promise to his people and say, hey, listen, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Trump ain't making no promise like that. But Trump is making a promise that he's going to make a change to this country and all that extra stuff. And what is he doing? Right now, at the end of the day, I believe that the government runs it, but for the most part, man, it's all about priorities. It's all about priorities. Understand why the women were trying to vote for Kamala Harris. They weren't trying to vote for Kamala Harris for a legit reason. They were voting for him because, hey, they want to see a black woman they want to see a black woman in office as a president. They want to sit over here and, oh, well, she's here for women. She's here for women. Well, what we're gonna do with some of these wars? Right? What we're gonna do with all of these damn immigrants y'all keep pulling up in here? Immigrants walking around with $4,000, right? While we sitting over here still struggling. While we still got people who's like, man, damn, I'm doing everything I can, and I can't even get a damn loan. I can't even sit over here and I can't even get a house. I can't do this. I can't do that. But you got some immigrants that can just come in, right? All because Biden and Harris is trying to pretty much gain more people to sit over here and pretty much have at her disposal, right? Because think about it, you're gaining something out of this. If I'm sitting over here opening up the gates for 500,000 people to come in so they can live a happy and free life, or whatever you want to call it, you don't think that they ain't gonna be indebted to me? You don't think that, hey, when I really need them, they ain't gonna be here. They're gonna be there for it. That's the reason why. That's another reason why. That's one of the biggest reasons, at least from my opinion, they will sit over here allowing all of them people to come in the first place. And like I said, I can go down the whole rabbit hole of that because, like I said, man, let's not act like, man, we forgot who Donald Trump was in 2016. We do remember who he was in 2016, right? And a lot of those sentiments still hold true, right? But for the most part, man, he stands on his business. And like I said, for the fact that these women are just so distant, their priorities are so messed up, they're going to focus on things that don't even make sense. So then you have your child who's sitting up here, man, in public schools, learning certain things that, to be honest with you, they really shouldn't need to be learning. They shouldn't, drags and, kids, two of the same people kissing and all of that extra stuff. Why are kids having to see that? But women don't care about that. Women do not care about that. Women do not care about, you have teachers, right? You had a teacher who was sitting up here singing a whole song, had a whole Sexy Red song, but made it an alphabet song. And you see what all of those kids look like. You see what the teacher look like. So, I mean, what do you expect, right? But they're okay with that. They're okay with, Sexy Red coming up to a high school and singing with it and, singing in front of all the children. But they're upset because you got somebody who's actually making a change. Once again, and this is why I said TikTok is bad, right? TikTok is bad. TikTok is bad. And then on top of that, once again, just look how bad TikTok is. Look how down bad they are, right? The fact that they said, hey, listen, we're only going to ban people, man, who talk down on black women or a protected group, right? We're only going to mute those videos. Now, when you bring up America, guess what TikTok is doing? They're muting videos about that too. And guess what? A lot of women have a lot to say about Donald Trump. A lot of sisters have a lot about Donald Trump. But guess what? Guess who that app is adhering to? Donald Trump, right? So, again, it just shows how hypocritical a lot of you women are today. And we're all of these kids who can barely read, who's sitting over here struggling in a damn 7th grade reading on a 3rd grade level. Where are these kids coming from? They're coming from a single parent household, right? Let's read these comments. So someone says they gonna say they still not gonna pick you, right? So essentially what he is trying to say that your sister's still gonna jump on here and say, hey, they're not gonna pick you. They're still not gonna pick you. Pretty much is trying to insinuate that she's a pick me. And that is just your common rebuttal when a woman is trying to hold other sisters accountable. Why are you trying to be a pygmy? Why are you holding them? Why are you trying to speak up for them? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Well, man, I'm just calling out BS for what it is. So a man says something, he's a sellout, he's this, he's that, right? He's gay, he hates his mama. If a woman calls you out, man, somehow, some way, she's a pick-me, right? If somebody else from a different race call you out, somehow, some way, they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, it's sisters, man. Sisters, a lot of our sisters are some beautiful creatures. I can tell you that, man. So someone else says they can never talk about anything serious, then wonder why people don't take us serious. But the whole world is lost and backwards. Someone says beautiful black with brains do exist. Then someone else says, right, and this is where it becomes very disingenuous. This is where this sister proves my point that you have so many sisters who will not hold other sisters accountable. They will only ever, right? Once again, they will only ever hold both accountable or just hold the man accountable, but they will never hold a woman accountable. But let's go ahead and read what she's saying, right? She says, it's the collective, not just black women. Look at the stats just on the election alone. Black women voted for Kamala at 96%. Black men voted for Kamala at 85%. Now, of course, I got to fact check that, but I doubt that. That's cap. Right, that's cap, because the only reason being is that if that was the case, right, if that was the case, y'all saw the board, right? Y'all saw the board. Y'all saw everybody and their mama who was trying to vote for Donald Trump, right? America and black men, right? And also, if that's the case, if her statement is true, you wouldn't have so many damn sisters jumping on TikTok, man, talking about y'all black men deserve this, y'all black men deserve that. Y'all did hear what she just said at the beginning of the video, right?
whoever voted for this is going to get it. They're going to suffer. We're not going to suffer because we didn't vote for this.
And that is coming from a black woman. She was saying that, hey, listen, I hope, man, everybody who voted for Donald Trump, I hope y'all get everything that y'all want because it ain't going to affect us. As if you aren't a United States citizen. Like, what you mean? If whatever Donald Trump does affects me, is going to affect you too, bird brain. I highly doubt. I'm talking about I highly doubt. Please, somebody leave it in the comments down below because I'm definitely going to do my research. But I highly doubt black men, most of your black men voted for Kamala Harris. That's cap, right? That's cap. And the only ones who are doing that because once again, one of my homeboys, man, his girl is a feminist, and anytime we all get into a discussion about it, he's always taking her side, no matter what. But when we're alone, it's a whole different story, right? He's agreeing with me, he's this, that, and the third. But then when his woman jumps on, oh, well, you know what? Oh, I got to be politically correct. No, I mean, no, bro, no, Trump, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're this or that. I mean, once again, those are the only type of men. Pretty much don't have a control in a relationship are going to sit up here, man, and agree with something like that, or going to say, hey, let's go ahead and vote for Kamala. Just like how when you ask women why are you voting for Kamala, they don't ever give good answers. The same thing with a lot of your men who vote for Kamala, right? A lot of them just don't have a voice because the only reason they're voting for is because, hey, I'm either pandering to women or I'm pandering to my woman. So let's go ahead and read some of those comments. Someone says 92% and 78%. Where did you get your stats from? Then someone else says the vote has nothing to do with who black women really are. Black men really have no real clear understanding that black women will destroy anything black men attempt to build. Black women are currently sleeping with and getting pregnant by immigrant males. And then he says hedging their bets in hopes to be on the winning side of the new emerging immigrant Hispanic race war, while black men are begging, black women are plotting. Then someone else says, stay on subject. You're moving the goalposts. I mean, hey, the jury has spoken. Once again, man, we are seeing how degenerate TikTok is. We are seeing how a lot of our sisters are moving today. It's not conducive for society. It's not conducive for the black community. But you say something, somehow, some way, you hate your community. Somehow, some way, if you're in her shoes, you're a pick me. So, give me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all feeling about this, man. The subscribers been coming in, man. YouTube been showing me some love, pushing me through the algorithm. I don't know if this video gonna go through the algorithm, but hey, do me a huge favor. Once again, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.